Hey, welcome to our today's webinar. I'm super excited to have you, Haley, talking about Chata.ai and showing us a little bit how it looks like, how it works. Because I think it is so important for business owners to know their real-time data in order to make the right decisions for their future, right? Um, to grow their businesses instead of making those decisions based on old data that has changed anyway. Nowadays, everything is changing fast. I do know in effect that most of the business owners, they don't like dealing with analyzing those long reports, spending hours and hours to make the right decision. And I do get that. And that's why I really enjoy working with business owners, helping them having their real-time data on the fingertip and to be able to understand their data in no time and actually in a pretty fun way, which Heidi will show us in a minute. I'm super pumped about more and more business owners like you do see and understand the value of this new technology, but I also get that it can be quite scary and overwhelming to find the right set of applications out of those 1,000 applications that are out there. And this is what we enjoy, working with business owners, helping them find the right set of applications for their business, setting it up, integrate it to the accounting software. We do create rules and automations. We train their staff and also the business owners on how to use those apps. Yeah, we offer support for the apps in use, so they basically just need to call one number and we will take care of all the questions and concerns of any of the apps in use in the background. Yeah, and I think one of the must-have applications is Chata.ai for every business that wants to be successful, that wants to grow. And well, why is that? Well, let's dive into it, and I will pass it over to you, Haley.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Natalie, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and to be speaking to your group. And even more so, it's really exciting to be able to work with advisors like yourself that, you know, you're not just number crunching, you're not just doing data entry. In fact, you're getting away from that and you're really managing the data, advising your clients on how to leverage their business data to make better decisions, identify new opportunities, identify risks, and then, you know, to course correct as necessary. So, and then of course, advising on technology, which is super overwhelming to a lot of business owners. So we're really excited to be working with B&B Better Bookkeeping as well. So without further ado, let's dive into a little bit about Chata.ai, how it works, and I'll show you how the app works too. But first I'm going to show you a video because I know probably most of you have never even heard of us before. So this will give you a nice overview of how it works. So I'm just going to hit the play button. I think the sound should work.
Imagine getting answers to all the questions you have about your business from wherever you are, whenever you want, just by asking. We're here to tell you a story about empowerment. Empowerment for small business owners and empowerment for financial professionals. Data is a critical asset to driving business growth and profitability. The goal of every business owner and financial advisor should be to gather valuable and actionable insights that can help them grow their businesses. However, some major barriers exist. This is what's normally accessible when it comes to business data. Complex user interfaces, rigid reporting, and inaccessible data stores are the core contributors to seeing only part of the data picture. And in reality, the problem is enhanced when we consider that most businesses rely on multiple software applications. Businesses today have no central location to do multi-app reporting and analysis. This means pulling data from a lot of places, a lot of spreadsheets, and a lot of wasted time. Compounding these issues, our mobile apps in the cloud accounting domain have limited data access. For businesses on the go, this is not acceptable. To solve this, Chata.ai has built a state-of-the-art natural language understanding engine. Using artificial intelligence, we give you the ability to simply ask a question in your own words. The AI understands the question and dynamically determines where to find the information and what calculations to perform, giving you an immediate answer. Thanks to our amazing customers, we are working with many types of businesses. Our users are growth-focused, business-savvy, and know data is an asset. Their biggest pains are they don't like math or work in spreadsheets. They have multiple software applications and they're not expert users. They are always on the go. Chata.ai has become a critical tool for people like Carly, a software-as-service entrepreneur who wants to know change in monthly sales, or for each dollar of wages, how much sales are they generating? Or Patrick the plumber, who wants to know the big picture on how long his customers are taking to pay him, or to check item inventory levels while on site. Or Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, restaurant owners who want to know how sales are affected by the weather, or gain deep insights from their online customer reviews. The combinations of things you can ask Chata.ai is immense. You can literally ask millions of different questions. And just by saving minutes per month, Chata.ai has already paid for itself. Users can ask both simple and complex queries, build customized dashboard visualizations, and dynamically drill down into results, all through the most intuitive form of human interaction. Natural language. Our vision is one where a business owner can simply ask for and receive what they want from any application they use, accessible wherever they go. That is customer empowerment, and that is a core value of Chata.ai. Sign up for Chata.ai and start getting immediate answers to questions.
All right. I hope that gives you guys a really good overview of who we are and what we're about. So Chata.ai is a Calgary-based startup. We've been around for just over a year now, and we launched our first integration with QuickBooks Online in May of last year. So we've really come a long way since then, thanks to our partners like Natalie, who have helped us kind of grow our ability to handle different types of questions. And that last little piece at the end, customer empowerment, client empowerment, business empowerment, that's really what we're all about. So all business owners want to know, what's going on in my business? How am I doing? But to actually make those operational changes, you need to get into why. Why is this going on in my business? And really drilling down into the details. So I'm going to flip on over to the actual Chata application here. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
It's looking good? Okay, awesome. So when you log into Chata.ai, if you're working with an advisor like Natalie, they'll have everything set up for you. So they'll have connected your data source, set up some templates for regular reporting, and have set up some dashboards to help you get started. So everything should be pretty easy. If you were to come into Chata.ai on your own, someone like myself, I'm on the customer success team here, will help you get started with some queries that are specific to your business. So you're never kind of alone. And what we know is that being able to ask anything about what's going on in your business, where do you start? It can be a little bit overwhelming. So we're here to help you get started. And once you get the hang of it, it's actually really, really easy. So like we said here, you can just ask a question about what's going on in your business and we give you that immediate answer. So instead of going into your QuickBooks Online software, having to find the right report to pull, and then having to dig through, a not very easy to navigate list of numbers, you can just ask for the specific thing that you're looking for and get that answer. And then again, continue to drill down into the details. So what I'll do today is I'll just kind of take you through a series of queries, show you some different examples of what some business owners typically ask, and then kind of give you a high-level overview of some of the other features that you might use if you're working with someone like Natalie. So I'm in the interface here. Your organization name is at the top. This is a plumbing company. It's our demo data source that we always work within. So it's actually a real company. This data is always kept up to date. We've got some beautiful dashboard features for real-time snapshots. Because all of our features are based on the concept of a query or a question, when you type in your query, we go and fetch that data from QuickBooks Online in real time. So you're always working with the most up-to-date information. The data chat is where we are right now, and that's where we'll start today. Reporting is for saving your results. We've got a nice little pin feature that we like to call the sticky note that never gets lost. So you can type in your query, you have an answer, you can pin it and just refer back to it at a later time, whether you're in a client meeting or on a job site. it's already right there for you. This is where you'll save your reports and collaborate with your advisor or other teammates. And then your templates are going to be for regular or automated reporting. So you don't even have to think about pulling your data. It'll just do it for you, and you can just go in and take a look at it. So again, starting with the data chat, I'm in the window here. You can see we're going to be working on focus on financial data today. We do connect to other data sources, but we got to focus on QuickBooks first. And we started in the financial space because that's where most business owners have the biggest challenges, is being knowledgeable about the finances, and then again tying it into the operational day-to-day, and that's really where we come in. So you can see we've got our date last reconciled at the top, so you know how up to date your accounts are. Sometimes you might have your accounts reconciled monthly, sometimes weekly. It depends on your relationship with your accountant or bookkeeper and your agreed upon kind of timelines there. But as long as that's reconciled on a regular basis, you know that those accounts are in check. Right under that, we have our query builder. So we developed this because most people are typically trained, what can I do? What can't I ask the system? And we really want to coach. It's what you should be asking about your business. Because even if we don't understand what you're asking for at this point in time, we'll be able to train the system so that it will be able to answer your question either the next day or within a couple weeks' time. So if you ever ask something and we're not sure what you're actually looking for, our engineers look at the queries that come in every day, and we add training to our system so that it's able to handle that query and related queries in the future. To help you get started, we have this query builder though, so you can pick a topic to query on. So we've got our sales, expenses, profitability, cash flow. I'll select expenses. A list is going to give you a list of transactions. A calculation is going to give you a total or an average. You can select a time range, filter by an additional group like a month, and then maybe I want to go by supplier as well. So I can pick any of these query suggestions, and it'll type it into the query engine for me. So total expenses by supplier by month last year, and in seconds I have all of my data. So super fast and easy. I can put this into a visual format if I want, and best part is I can drill down into the details. So I can click on a data point and see what happened on that month with that supplier. Now, the beauty of it is that you can ask whatever question you like. So I'm going to go ahead and start to play around with some queries. So I'll start with something basic like sales. So total sales by week for the last 3 months. So here we go. We can see the week. I can again put this into a chart to visualize and see kind of my trends over the last few months. Maybe I had a marketing campaign going on. Maybe I have a seasonal business. You can kind of identify, based on changes I made in my business or new products I got in, how did that impact my sales? I can look at who my best customers are, top 5 customers this month. Maybe I have a program where I reward my best customers with a lunch each month or something like that. So you can see who's giving you the most money, who's bringing in the most revenue. We can look at number of new customers by month last 3 months. And again, maybe you've hired a new salesperson, they've brought in some new business. Maybe you started a marketing campaign that brought in a bunch of new business, whatever that is. You can take a look at some of these unique metrics that's traditionally really difficult to find in your accounting software. Let's take a look at, most business owners always want to know who owes the money, who's got outstanding receivables. So you can simply ask that question, who owes me money? And right away you have the answer. So if I was on the way to a client meeting, alternatively, I could ask all outstanding bills from 123 AB Limited, my client. And so I know going in if this client owes me money, if I need to ask him to collect, and I can drill down right away and get all the details of those transactions. Something else that's usually really interesting to business owners is average days to pay per customer. And we have this really nice little recommendation engine, just like Google. So if you want to, it'll finish your sentence for you. So this query right here, average days to pay per customer, in a bar chart, we've got a nice visual of which customers are really impacting my receivables or negatively impacting my cash flow. And someone like Natalie would say, you know what, you're not a bank. We need to collect from this customer right now. So she can advise you on things like streamlining your invoicing process, maybe setting up payment reminder campaigns, or maybe adjusting the contract that you have with that client, just depending on the nature of your business. Another kind of cool custom metric that would take Natalie or yourself hours and hours to figure out outside of Chata is total sales divided by average days to pay per customer. And we developed this query because oftentimes people think, oh, it's my customers that are spending the most money with me that are my best customers. And sometimes, even though they're spending a lot of money, they might negatively be impacting your cash flow because they're taking 3 months to pay you. So they're not actually your best customer. So you can take a look and actually rank them based on how much they're spending with you and on average how long it takes them to pay. And you can, reward your customers or maybe focus on enhancing your relationship with these ones. Or maybe you just need to cut them. Depends on the business again. Let's look at cash flow. Every business owner wants to know about cash flow. So we can get into some of the nitty gritty right away. I'm going to take a look at cash flow by month for the last 6 months. So you can kind of visualize some trends here. So I have my answer. 1 month was not so hot on the cash flow, and I can see this in a line chart here. So I've got my 0. What happened in September? And go up. And you can drill down again into those details and see why you had negative cash flow in September. Is this something that you can plan for in the future? Is this something that happens every year? So you can drill into those details right away. It looks like we had a lot of payments in September. So if that's something we can count on always, we can plan for that and save for it in the future so that we're not going into negative cash flow. Let's look at cash flow by customer. Again, looking at how your customers are impacting your business. So we can see here all customers are contributing to positive cash flow. That's not always the case. Sometimes if they're taking too long to pay you, they'll contribute negatively to your cash flow. We can take a look at expenses again. Expenses. For example, our CEO is looking at our conference schedule. So conferences are a huge part of our marketing budget. And last year was our first year really kind of testing out the market. And so he was looking at how much money do we spend on US versus Canadian conferences last year, and what was the return on that investment? Where do we spend our money this year? So if you're looking into expenses, you can get into those details. If it's by account or by class, so we could look into, total expenses by class. And you can see there and drill down into the details. So that might have been US marketing and Canadian marketing initiatives, and drill down to see what those expenses were last year. How do we want to plan and budget for this year? So I hope that gives you kind of a good overview. If it exists in your data, we can find the information. So whether it's budget to actual analysis, expense analysis, inventory analysis, whatever it is, whatever your specific business needs are, we can find that information easily for you, and you just have to ask the question. So it's really beautiful. Like I said, all of our other features are based on the concept of a query. So I'll just show you another, I'll show you a template that we've set up. So this is an example of a cash flow template. All I have to do to run this information is hit the Run Templates button, or I can save this to run automatically. So if I wanted to see this report weekly or monthly, it would just notify me that we've run the data, and it's all right there. So you can just go in and analyze it, which is amazing. So super fast and easy. Didn't even need to go into QuickBooks. The last feature I'll show you is our dashboard functionality. These are awesome. If you just like to have a snapshot of what's going on in your business at any given time, you can have up to 15 different dashboards. So what we typically see is kind of a snapshot of, high level overarching business, sales, receivables, profitability, cash on hand, those kinds of things. and then drilling into specific focus areas that you've either worked towards with your accountant or bookkeeper or that you want to keep an eye on. So things like accounts receivables, expenses, inventory, working capital. Behind each of these tiles lives a query, so it's really easy to see or edit it. I think I can change this one, yeah. So I can see that there's a query that lives underneath each of these. So quantity sold and quantity on hand per product in 2018. If you have a company that has a lot of inventory, this is great for planning. I can make these tiles different sizes. Maybe I want to make this one bigger. You get the idea. I can add additional tiles. They're super easy to create and edit. And I always have that really nice snapshot. And again, I can drill down into any of the details from right here in the dashboard. So that is kind of high level how it works. Any questions, Natalie?
Not a question, but maybe in addition, like what I also see, like a lot of clients, they are not a number person. They really like the way it can be set up, how it looks pretty easy, and yeah, they love that.
Totally. Yeah, that's it's really, we like to call it telling a data story. So making sense of the numbers and again, actionable insights.
Yeah.
Instead of just here's what's happening, here's actually why it's happening and how you can take action. That's what we're about.
And also for the inventory, they can even see which of the products is the top product, gets sold the most, right? So they can plan ahead and yeah.
Absolutely. You could ask things like, what are my top 5 products by month for the last X amount of time? And then you can really watch your trends go.
Yeah. And what I also noticed in the past is a lot of clients, they focus on, like when they get those reports, they focus on the profit and loss and to know if, like how the business is doing. But rather than focusing on the profit and loss, they really should focus on the cash flow. And this is made so easy with Chata.ai. It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Cash flow is absolutely
critical. Cash is king.
There are some really great cash flow forecasting tools out there, which I believe that you use. But before you can really plan and understand and see where you're going, and for that to be accurate, you have to understand where you've been and why. So in order to really deploy those cash flow forecasting tools effectively, you have to have a really good understanding of what's going on in the business at current state and historically. Because otherwise those cash flow forecasting tools, they're great, but if you don't know how to actually get there, pretty challenging.
Yeah, that's right.
Totally. Anything else to add?
Let me see. I think I have nothing to add to that.
Cool. Well, this was awesome. Thanks so much for having me. If you are working with Natalie if she's your bookkeeper and advisor, I have a feeling she'll get us connected at some point. But otherwise, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us on our website at support@Chata.ai, or in this little help box, someone like myself lives behind there, so you're talking to a real human.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thanks so much again for having me.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. Bye now.
Bye.